Hi there. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Catherine. I'm working on this little old journal lately. She is 101 years old. I believe 1924 she was published. I'm going to find her page because we have to put it in anyways. Found it. So she's just, what a sweet, sweet little journal. Oh, the tags. You know what? Let's cover the tag first before I get into the signatures that I think are ready, and I think I need to go through and maybe pull some pages because I still have more pages I want to put in. I'll put that aside for now. The last time we were together, which feels like eons ago, I must say, I almost make a video every day, and every night I hit delete because I've just wandered off topic. I go on to topics that are not... My brain rambles and says whatever happens to float into it, and sometimes it's not artsy. Sometimes it's just what's either happening in my life or happening in the world, and it turns out it has nothing to do with my journal at hand. So I do apologize that I have been MIA. I have still been working for the most part. So we aged some tag so that I could show you how I created this sweet tag to put onto this little journal. And I wanted to show you, this is the side that had the glossy accents, this stuff. And then on the other side, I used gel medium in gloss, and I did not like it. And this is one of the videos that ended up getting hit by delete when I showed you the next day that it just did not look nice. But I tell you what I did do, and it looks, I like it. So if you didn't want to spend the money that glossy accents costs, because it's not cheap, I used, let me find it, couldn't have been simpler. I used clear nail polish, and I gobbed it on really thick. Now, you probably, I don't know how well I use my phone to record. You probably can still see the brush strokes in there. Those brush strokes are from the gel medium. They're not from the nail polish. So I have a feeling that clear nail polish, really nice and thick, could achieve the same cool, glassy look that glossy accents gives us. So if you wanted to do that, and this is cheapo clear nail polish, like Dollar Tree, Dollarama. So give that a go. If you don't feel like heading to your craft store, but you'd like to have some fun making older tags, or I've seen Nick the Booksmith do it, making a tiny little picture frame and then going over the picture and using glossy accents. But if you want to give it a go with just clear nail polish, I really think it would work. I do. So, so she's good to go. I found some fabric that I want to make use of. I'm going to bring her up nice and close, and then I'm going to see if we can see. There's a tiny little pattern on her dress. And so I knew I had a piece of fabric left that I had tea-dyed that reminded me of her little dress that she's wearing. So I want to find a way to include this in the book that maybe she made her own little dress. She found some fabric in the woods and she wanted to have a dress like a little human, and made it herself because she didn't want to wear petals, flower petals and leaves like the other fairies wear. And that this was some leftovers, or who knows, but I just thought that needs to go in, so I'll be putting that in somewhere. Now, let's see, in yesterday's video that got hit with delete, I worked on her final page of the journal. So I've got 5 signatures. There's some Edith in there, and I do have some others. I have some pages, Anna in Made by Grenath. She sent some of these. This one is, I believe, Janet Marsh, her book. I want to put those in. I have a little bit more Edith. So see what I mean? I have a very strong suspicion I'm going to have to go in and take some pages out. We'll worry about that later. Let me tell you about the final page that I worked on. I was determined not to put any other fairies in this book, that this book was intended to actually be owned by the fairy hunter and full of little evidence, pieces of evidence that he found in trying to recapture her. And so, of course, because he never did recapture her and ultimately lost the book in the forest, and who knows whatever became of him. But then I thought, maybe the ending should be triumphant. Maybe she found the book at the end, because I did find a picture of a grown-up fairy, and I just thought maybe she should go in at the end, so that we have her as the little girl and that she was triumphant. I love that there's shamrocks, so she's obviously an Irish fairy. Now in this picture, again, apologies, it got deleted. Her little wings in this picture were white, and I thought our little fairy had green and blue wings with some gold on them. And so I colored in her wings and then added a bit of gold to them so that so that it looks like she grew into a very beautiful little fairy. And this illustrates how tiny she actually really is, because the size of those shamrocks, how little she must have been. So she must have been really, really tiny as this sweet little thing. Imagine trying to get a mug shot of that little thing. So anyhow, so I need to glue that down. I'm trying to decide whether to make it a pocket, and I see no reason why not to make it a pocket. And so that's going to be the end. The front, I do like this vellum. It's just some vellum with a feather, so that's something that would be found in the woods. Here's some paper that has grass and leaves in it. And so now I have to figure out about this first page, whether I want to glue it down. I think this. Oh, little fairy comes at night. Her eyes are blue, her hair is brown, with silver spots upon her wings, and from the moon she flutters down. Ah, well, our little fairy has gold on her wings. I think this is just on like a plate. Yes, let's take this off. But I will be putting it back in the book because it's a photo of a forest with a little, it says the water slide on it. Let's see if we can get that paper off. So I hope you're all doing well. As ever, I'm having good days and challenging days. That's to be expected. So I focus on the good ones and get done what I can. And on the bad ones, I sit on the couch and feel sorry for myself. And that's okay too. I watched the Pope's funeral this morning. Found it interesting that he chose to be buried in a different church than where the other popes are interred. That was interesting. And all the people that were there, just amazing. There we go. There. Beautiful. Okay. So that is ready to just, that can be glued in on the back, and that way it can be used as a journaling page on the back. Not sure where yet. This one, not so sure it will survive. There is, okay, so this must be the original copyright date of 1905, but this particular book was 1924. So there we go. Just shows you, you have to look around. Now I want this, but I don't want this. So part of me is thinking I need to do my little save the book plate thing instead, like make a little book plate rather than the whole page. I'm really not interested in all of this, and I'm not interested in, it just doesn't seem like something that a fairy hunter would make use of a second book. So I think we need to use some maybe scrapbook paper. I have this big Tupperware type container, scrapbook paper pieces. So I'm going to look through it. These are just pieces that are no longer 12 by 12. Some of them, those are end papers from a book. But see, now that would be, I like those greens. And I may just make things easy for myself. I like that too. I'm going to keep that aside because it looks nice and dirty. Oh, I like that green back there. Not that one. Not that one. That one. I like that one. All right, that's the one I want. All right, that was nice and quick. Put this away. It is so windy outside today. Windy days are challenging for our little Kirby. Of all things, thunderstorms don't bother her. I don't know whether I need New York. Macmillan Company. That's fine. Thunderstorms don't bother her. Fireworks don't bother her. But wind, and I get it. Wind bothers her because, I mean, try and explain wind to a dog. It's, where did that come from? Why is that leaf coming at me from out of nowhere? I'm using my cutting board so that I know that I'm getting 90-degree angles. And I don't need, it says all rights reserved down there. I don't need all rights reserved. Now here's where I need a little bit of really low tack tape. I'm going to move it down here. Make sure I've got it. Nope. Needs to be a little bit further down. And make sure I've got it even. I'm eyeballing it. That looks good. Let's do that. I've always got these little pieces of tape here and there. You just never know when you're going to need them. So I stick them to the edge of my desk, and then they're handy. All right, I like that. And then if I put it on a little frame, that will look nice because our template is on these leaves, this fabric. Isn't that perfect for a little woodlands? Yeah. All right. So we're going to glue this. Oh, you know what? I want to ink it first. Let's ink it first. I better be gentle. I'm usually such an aggressive inker, but this paper is old and it's not the highest quality, so I could very easily really rip it apart if I started inking it the way I usually ink things. Maybe I need to, that's getting it better. Okay. Sort of do a little curling motion. It's so, yeah, it's Saturday here, in case me talking about the Pope's funeral didn't trigger that. For me right now, it's Saturday. And here's how good I'm being. This is the third week that my little, as if I own it, Kirby book sale has been open, and I have not gone yet. I will definitely be going at some point because I actually have 2 boxes of books that I'm going to donate back to them. But I do think I will be able to go in and give them the books and say hi to everyone and leave. I am doing so well with my low buy, no buy goal. I'm really pleased with it. It's actually posing a new challenge for me to use what I've got rather than having that FOMO. Thrifting FOMO. It's a real thing. There needs to be a hashtag thrifting FOMO. FOMO thrifting. Because that's basically how my thrifting worked. See a store? Well, I gotta stop in, because what if today's the day there's something absolutely fabulous in there and I will miss out on it. So, there we go. If I go a little bit wider, that always gives me the option of trimming it back. Let's see. Yeah, I think I need to. But I might just freehand it with my scissors. Yeah, I'm going to save that. You just never know. And definitely this. All right. So I've been so good about it and actually feeling good about it. And as I'm looking through what I've got in order to make choices for what I'm going to put into the journals that I'm making, because I still haven't recorded a flip through for little Miss Ada Jane, and I do have to do that. Trying to decide whether to do a dark green around that edge or whether to do a dark brown. I think I'm going to do one of my tap, tap, tap things. And just give it a little border. Got to be careful with this glue because ink pad, because it's so juicy that you can end up touching it and then making a mucky mess on your little item. Now I forget what I was saying. Oh, see, I did it there, but that's all right. It's a junk journal, right? There. Okay, I like it. I just need to decide where it's going to go. But I can decide that once I've got the book together. This can go in it a little more carefully. Up you go. You go and try. Very good. Now, I sort of need to decide. That's 2. Where did I put? You're back there. 1. So I may have to see. In all of them I've put 2 folios. Oh, this one's got 3. Okay, there we go. We can lose one of these for now. And that way, perhaps I could put her in or on the back. No. On the back like this. No. So we know where the hunter has been hunting, near the water slide. That could look good. I'm just going to leave it there for now. I really don't like that this is so such a harsh cut. So let's just give that a bit of a rough edge. Even if it makes it shorter, that's okay. We don't mind that. That already feels better to my eyes. I took a knife to the edges of a lot of these. All right, so this one doesn't have, see, it's got 3 in it as well. I'm going to take one out, and then we shall put in, oh, that looks nice. Then there's sort of a waterfall layer there. Uh-oh. Ah, there we go. Oh, yes. Okay, that works. And then I could put them back in 1, 2. Then I could put them back in the press tonight. 1, 2, 3. See, there we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, it doesn't have that many. Okay. So I wonder if I should put a little bit of Edith. What I've done here with this Edith one, let's do it now, is this page is the page that has seed vessels of cow, parsnip, and beaked parsley. So what I thought I would do is have that sort of stick out like a tab. Then there's still journaling space there, lots of journaling space there, and this page, the full page, it just worked out really, really well. I don't want it to stick out too far. There will be lace in this journal, but I want it in little bits and pieces. I don't want to do full strips of perfectly even lace because it really needs to be that that they're pieces of lace that were picked up off the forest floor. All right, let me move that out of the way, and then we can glue this down. Okay. And even that can be, oh, that can be journaled on the back. Okay, woohoo. Love that. I have also fussy cut some Edith to put into the book, like toadstools. And at first, that's one of those things that I always like to, I get into my head, now why is this? What's the difference between mushrooms and toadstools? And I bet a bunch of you, I bet all of you know, I did not know the difference between mushrooms and toadstools. And apparently there were a lot of different sources and a few had different opinions. It seems to be one of those opinion things and not official things. But according to the majority of the opinions that I found, they are all mushrooms. They're all in the mushroom fungi family. However, toadstools are the inedible ones, the poisonous ones, whereas mushrooms can be eaten. I think I'm one of the few, I shouldn't say only, one of the few junk journalers who, when I do a torn edge, I like the tear to show. Most junk journalers that I watch tear down, whereas I really like to then ink that paper core that is showing. And because it's been torn, it really shows it nicely. So here, I'll show you what I mean in case you don't understand. So as you can see, when you tear any paper, whether you can see it or not, if you tear it away, you will get a nice smooth finish like that. But the other side will show the paper core. So I find that most junk journalers that do hand tearing in their book, especially of thick paper, they prefer their tearing to be to show on this side and not have the paper core show through. But I like the paper core because I like distress ink. And I find that the distress ink looks really cool when you ink the that freshly ripped paper. And I've said that before. I figure after all these years, I'm probably repetitive in every single video now. But if there's new people here, I'm not repetitive to them, I guess. In my brain, I tell stories over and over and over. There, we'll just ink up this paper core so that you can see what I'm yattering on about. There we go. After I'm done here, I'm going downstairs. I have been craving some Nova Scotia oat cakes. So I'm going downstairs to bake up a batch of Nova Scotia oat cakes. And they're slightly different from Scottish oat cakes, which is, they're almost like an oat cookie, a bland oat cookie. The Scottish ones are savory, and so they're like an oat cracker. But the Nova Scotia oat cakes have just a little bit of sugar, not a lot. They're not overly sweet. They actually count on you putting some jam on it or drizzling a bit of honey or that on them. So I, and knowing me, there we go. I like Nova Scotia oat cake. Oh, I have this. That was on one of the pages. Hold on. Might as well do this. I'm going to make a tuck spot out of this little bird and tuck it into the journal somewhere. This definitely needs to go into back into Jessie the Pressy for the night. See if we can get this down a bit so I can put a few little tags and things in it so that she's not too gator mouthy. There. Okay. That's a cute little bird. All right, that's good. And then I did cut out what was left of some ivy. I had used some of the ivy from Edith's book on something else, but I had a bit left. And I still had the title left. Now that's too tight a squeeze for me. Some people are amazing at their hand tearing. I am not. Now where is Maybe that is the one. That's the one. And in that case, I have these scissors that do a decal edge. And I can control it a little bit better. Is it dark? No, that's not. Okay. It's a little bit overcast today. Now, is that not bad? It seems to be a little crooked. There we go. All right, I like that. Common ivy, that will be going in. So that's my cheater's way. If I had more room, I could also use my, I've got one of those Tim Hortons guillotine decal edge cutters. And there we go, common ivy. I have some ivy. I'm really bad with houseplants. Oh, look at me, I'm at 36 minutes. Okay, I'll finish my houseplant rant. I am really bad with houseplants. I kill them. But I have two plants that will not die, and in fact thrive so much that I don't know what to do with them. I get offshoots and I start handing them to anyone who will take them away because I don't have the heart to kill them. One of them is a, oh, I forget the name of the plant. I can't kill it. It grows long and you can drape it over things. But I also have some ivy. My husband's family sent some beautiful flowers to me when my father died. Beautiful white rose arrangement. And the florist had used little tiny snips of ivy in the rose arrangement. And as they, when I get flowers, as some of the flowers start dying, I take them out and then I still keep the ones that are still fresh. I don't get rid of it all at once. I keep the ones that are fresh for as long as I can. And these little ivy sprouts that I think were meant to be decorative just kept hanging in there. And before I knew it, they were thriving. They grew little roots, and before I knew it, I had an ivy plant. Hold on, I'm going to go get it. So here is my little ivy plant. Oh, there's a little leaf there that needs trimming. From an arrangement of flowers that I got over 10 years ago now. My dad will have been gone actually 10 years in July. And oh, there we go. And this plant just, it feels like Dad's saying, I'm still here. And I've got a little worm in here that belonged to my mom. She always kept him in her plants. So Mom's in with Dad's ivies. And they stay here in my room and watch me play with my art. They were both very artistic, so I guess that's why he's thriving in here. But I've still trimmed off other offshoots, and I've got like 4 of these, just as big, downstairs on my main floor. So I have a thing for ivy now. And then I'll take them outside and I'll put them in planters out in my yard. They love it outside. They grow even more outside, and they'll come back from outside. So anyhow, 39 minutes, way too long. Thanks for joining me. I blathered on, but I managed to sort of stay on the topic of journals, except when I went off topic about English ivy. I hope you're having a great day and a great rest of your weekend if you get some time off. I hope you can do some enjoyable things. Take care. Hopefully we'll get together sooner than the last time that I showed up here. Yeah, so we'll talk soon. Say hi down below and I'll say hi back. Bye.